if you can leave your ego at the door as a founder, you can actually grow your business exponentially. And you just have to realize that you're not actually going to be the best at everything.
This is Velocitize Talks, and I'm Andy North. I'm joined today by Yasmin Grigaliunas, CEO of World's Biggest Garage Sale. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I was curious about the origin of World's Biggest Garage Sale, because it sounds like a very cool organization.
Oh, look, it sounds much cooler than I think it originated. When we first started the World's Biggest Garage Sale, it was really in order to solve what we called donor fatigue. And so I was in a triathlon squad at the time, and everyone was trying to raise money for charity. And we were selling cupcakes and brownies and raffles and all sorts of different things to just try and raise enough funds to donate to charity. Mm-hmm. And then I could see all this stuff around my house, and it's stuff that was dormant, and then we're going to put it in the garage and then sell it for maybe $1,000 or $2,000. Anyway, all my friends and family then jumped on the bandwagon and started to bring their really nice stuff. And before too long, our garage filled up so much that we had to move everything from our garage to a hall, and we ended up with 50 volunteers setting it up the night before and literally worked through the night. And at 4 a.m, people started to arrive to shop at our World's Biggest Garage Sale, and we did $15,000 in a single day.
That's fantastic.
So it kind of just rolled on from there. It was a hobby for 3 years, and then in the third year we did $90,000, and so I quit my job, went all in, no plan B, and created the World's Biggest Garage Sale as a formal company. And we're profit for purpose, and we now exist as an organisation that designs solutions and systemises the garage sale, so anyone anywhere can have their own $100,000+ garage sale in their own community.
So it's somewhat systematized now. You've got sort of a template.
We do.
That you can share. Are you growing beyond Brisbane and Australia? Are you going international?
Definitely growing beyond Brisbane and Australia. So we haven't actually got a sales team on the ground yet in order to talk to other communities about the licence model. But we've already got 15 locations that have come to us just organically, mostly Queensland, a couple interstate, and one in New Zealand, one in San Francisco. So that's without trying. So we kind of think now we're in the consolidate to scale up. So we're now looking at raising a seed round and to bring equity partners into our business, investors and capital, so that we can actually keep up with the pace of the demand and also take it to 1,000 events in the next 5 years globally.
Have you seen the recent trend of decluttering being somewhat helpful for your business?
Definitely. And what we feel is we got to witness this 6 years ago when we started to see people decluttering. And what we were noticing, and lots of our friends actually started to change their own purchasing behaviour after donating to our garage sale for 4 or 5 years in a row. And we started to see people becoming quite minimalist. And then when the minimalist movement grew, and then the condo movement grew, we felt like, wow, of course we know all about this because we've seen people do it for the last 5 or 6 years. So we know the positive mental health benefits of decluttering, and we also see the significant community benefits when people do declutter. And without having to give money, they're giving stuff, but they know that their stuff is having a positive impact on someone else in the community. It's really quite electrifying. And we always knew that our biggest challenge was how do we keep the people and planet message so strongly aligned to the culture of our business, but while we make profit for purpose.
So explain YIP. We talked about that a little bit informally. I was fascinated by it, and that's being sort of the secret sauce of the World's Biggest Garage Sale.
It has. I realised that when we had to actually systemize, and we're always in the process of designing systems and improving our dashboard and our systems and ensuring that we provide a product to the community that basically means they don't have to do the hard work. So we do all the hard work for them. And so we call it our 11 secret herbs and spices, but we've actually called it YIP, and it's basically the Yaz IP. And what that means is for 6 years, I know what we're doing, we've systemized it, it's all in my head. Not a lot of it was documented in the first 4 years because we weren't a business. We just did it as a fun thing once a month, one month a year, and to raise lots of money. And so I realized as we started to scale our team, I just expected that they would know what's going on in the YIP. They don't. So we've now talked about really consciously that every week we spend time really downloading and understanding the IP of the business, that a lot of it exists in the mind, usually of the founder. And I think as founders, we can often assume our team understand and know the journey we're on, but there's actually the IP in your mind that if you share, and we often call it like under the hood, coming into the soul, and we talk a lot about love and meaning and feeling in our business, which helps when you have a big love heart logo. But it's actually that stuff that you have to talk about, and we need to raise up and talk more about, because if I don't share the YIP, then how do I expect my team to blitz scale at the rate we need to in order to do 1,000 events globally? Because you say 1,000 events globally and most people go, what? How are you going to do that?
Right. It sounds like you've solved two of the biggest issues for founder-led companies, which is one, they don't often identify their core values, and second being they often try to do it all themselves.
Yes, and look, when we didn't have staff in the team, I had no choice to do it all myself. And let me tell you, there's only I'm a super workaholic, and I'm proud of it. I love it. It's not a badge of honor. It's just the way I am. And what we're not trying to do is bring other Yazs in the team, because a whole team of Yazs would be a disaster. There would be so many gaps in our business. What we want to try and do is have that core, the attitudinal, not all the same love language, not all the same meaning, not all the same background or age or anything, but the same values, the same ethics and integrity. And if you can get that right, then the rest is just skills that closes all the gaps. And I want to bring people who are smarter than me, more talented than me, have better ideas than I have. Because if you can leave your ego at the door as a founder, you can actually grow your business exponentially. And you just have to realize that you're not actually going to be the best at everything.
You did have a career prior to World's Biggest Garage Sale. You were in B2B customer experience and sales.
Yes, yeah.
How did that help you build your business, your passion?
Oh my God, exponentially. I wouldn't be able to build what we've built if it wasn't for the career I had prior. I was really lucky to work for an amazing entrepreneur. Shane Leaney is his name. He started Video Pro in the 70s, I think, be over 35, maybe even close to 40 years old now. And he was the real deal founder. Got in, did all the hard work, built it from the ground up, got great people on board, and taught me, as did all of his leaders that worked under him, to act like I own the business. And that's one of our values, act like an owner. If you come work for us, and if there's anyone out there listening to this and wants to one day work with us, if you have act like an owner in your soul and who you are, then they're the sorts of people we want in our business. So Shane taught me to act like an owner really early on. And so it was really back now, or it is now, that I realised back then how important mentors are around you.
Obviously, World's Biggest Garage Sale is a purpose-driven organization. Yes. And encourages that in the communities that you operate in. Are you seeing that at a larger scale with some of the companies that are out there now that some are giving lip service to being purpose-driven and some are actually doing it? Yeah. Have you seen much of that in Australia?
Definitely. I think what's tending to happen is when there's people like Richard Branson out there, and he's quoted to say the brands that will thrive in the coming years are those that have purpose beyond profit. Now, it's not to say you can't make money. If you don't make money, you're actually not in business. So you have to make money. But are you making money just to make the top 10 people in the world richer, or are you making money to actually bring equality across the nation and the globe? And I think what we're seeing is this gap closing. Like, there's lots of people who have lots of things, and there's lots of people who don't have lots of things. And what we're trying to do is contribute to bringing almost this new world order in place, where, at our garage sales, we see the richest of the rich donate and come and shop, and the poorest of the poor donate and come and shop. And they're all the same. Like, everybody's got this, it's almost like a flat structure. And what we're seeing is a lot of companies that we're working with who are giving us volunteers or giving us product or contributing in some way by providing us with operational support that would otherwise cost money, is they want to contribute. People actually get a buzz out of doing good.
You've obviously done well with World's Biggest Garage Sale, and I know it hasn't come without its struggles and challenges. What advice would you give young women and men who are interested in, perhaps they're in a career right now that's not totally fulfilling them and they want to find a way to give back to the community? What advice would you give a young entrepreneur?
Oh, look, probably similar advice that was given to me. And if you are sitting there thinking, I'm not fulfilled in my current career. And don't get me wrong, I worked for a great company and great people, and that's probably why I stayed for so long. But I always knew that my purpose in life was to do more for others. And if you feel inside your soul, and I always talk about the gut and the heart, and that can then become the heart feeling, the heart and gut talking to you. And your head can often get in the way and say, no, it makes sense. I'm earning a lot of money. I'm doing a good job. My job is relatively easy. This is awesome. I can stay here and it's safe, the head. But if your heart and gut, the heart is saying, this is not fulfilling you. You're not happy. This is not what you want to do in life. You live one life, just one. This is not a rehearsal. So I say go all in. No plan B. It is shit scary, like totally scary sometimes. I just want to live in a tiny home with my family, have as minimal things as possible, but to have a maximum impact on the world. And I can do that by following my passion and pursuing what I know it is I'm meant to do. And my why is to make a difference. So as long as I'm making someone else's life better every single day, then I'm fulfilling my own soul and my own heart.
Is there a book, a blog, or a podcast that you're a fan of that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Right at the moment, I've just listened to Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, who is like this full-on guy. And I love full-on, it really energizes me. I can't believe I didn't know him. And I told a friend I have this goal to run 2019 kilometres in 2019, which sounds really big, but it's only 5.5 Ks a day. So it's actually really not that difficult. And so then they said, oh, have you heard about David Goggins? And I was like, no, who is this man? And he wrote a book called Can't Hurt Me. I listened to it, it is epic. And so after that, I was like, oh my God, I need to do so much more. This is amazing how much the human mind can power our capabilities. And then, well, he's so full on, I'm now listening to 5 a.m. By Robin Sharma. He is like a calmer version. And so it's almost like I always look for the extreme levels. And Robin Sharma talks a lot about you achieving what you want to achieve in life, getting up early. Like, get up early. If you don't get up early, get up early. There's a whole, 4 hours of the day before everyone else gets up that you can live.
That's very inspiring.
Thank you.
My guest today has been Yasmin Grigaliunas, CEO of World's Biggest Garage Sale. Yasmin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.